Dear brothers and sisters, today I am going to reflect on the faith of a Canaanite woman, Matthew 15:21 to 28. This Canaanite woman came to Jesus crying out that her daughter was possessed by a demon and was suffering terribly. Jesus did not answer a word, but he told his disciples that he was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. Later on, seeing the faith of the woman, he told her that she had a great faith and he granted her request, resulting in the healing of the daughter of that woman at that moment. Story. I would like to begin my reflection on the faith of a Canaanite woman, Matthew 15:21 to 28, with a heartwarming story of a poor farmer who had taken his sick and dying son to a famous doctor in the city, believing that this expert doctor will surely cure his son even when he is on the verge of death due to his high fever. Vishwas was a poor farmer whose son suddenly developed a high fever, and all the efforts of the local doctors could not help him recover from his high fever, and he became so ill that the poor farmer and the others thought that now there was a very little chance of the child's survival. Vishwas then thought of Dr. Pednekar, who was considered to be an expert in treating such type of high fever. Vishwas believed that only Dr. Pednekar could cure his son and prevent his death, which was looming large on the horizon. With some friends from his village, Vishwas arranged a vehicle to take his son to the city where Dr. Pednekar was doing his medical practice. After reaching the clinic of Dr. Pednekar, Vishwas and his friends told Dr. Pednekar about the fever which was killing the son of Vishwas and begged him to do something to cure him. Dr. Pednekar told Vishwas and his friends that he does not treat the patients from the villages because his treatment was meant only for the people of the city. But Vishwas and his friends pleaded with Dr. Pednekar, saying that even the people of the village can get the treatment from Dr. Pednekar after he has finished treating all the city patients who had come to meet him for treatment of the high fever that day. Dr. Pednekar was amazed at the faith of Vishwas and his friends and told him, Vishwas, you and your friends have great faith. And he treated the son of Vishwas and he was healed. Reference are the Patrick's stories for biblical reflection. Leaving that place, Jesus withdrew to the region of Tyre and Sidon. A Canaanite woman from that village, from that vicinity, came to him, crying out, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is demon-possessed and suffering terribly. The Canaanite woman from that vicinity came to him. At the time of Jesus, the Jews used to believe that Jesus had come into the world to save only the Jews, and the Canaanite people had no right to receive the salvation that Jesus had brought into the world. So it was strange that a Canaanite woman could come to Jesus, pleading to him to cure her daughter, when she knew very well that the Jews used to consider Canaanite people as having no right to the salvation which Jesus had brought into the world. Like that Canaanite woman, we too need to come to Jesus to ask Him to cure our sicknesses. Even if we do not belong to the group of the disciples of Jesus, and teach others that they too can ask Jesus to cure their sickness, even if they do not belong to the group of the disciples of Jesus. The Canaanite woman cried, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is demon possessed and suffering terribly. My daughter is demon possessed and suffering terribly. At the time of Jesus, when people suffered from any sickness, it was considered to be a possession of the demon. Therefore, the woman told Jesus that her daughter was demon possessed and suffering terribly, even when it was a fact that the daughter of the woman had a high fever. Jesus did not answer a word. Matthew 15:23. Why did Jesus not answer a word? Jesus was preparing an answer to be given to the woman, and therefore he did not answer a word. Of course, Jesus did not need to prepare any answer because he already knew what answer he was going to give to the woman. He did not answer a word because he wanted to teach his disciples and to us that we need to ponder over, keep silence, and pray to the Lord to guide us to give a proper answer whenever we are faced with a situation where we have to give some answer to the people who ask us for an answer in some situation. We need also to ponder over, keep silence, and pray to the Lord to guide us to decide a proper course of action whenever we are faced with a difficult situation, where we are called upon to respond to that situation. We need to teach others also to do the same when they are faced with such situation in their life. So his disciples came to him and urged him, send her away, for she keeps crying out after us. Matthew 15:23. The disciples wanted Jesus to send the Canaanite woman away because of two reasons. First, they did not want to help that woman because they wanted to shun their responsibility. We should never shun our responsibility whenever we have to help someone in need. And we need to teach others also not to shun their responsibility of helping those who are in need. Second, they did not want to help that woman due to their laziness. Very often we shun our responsibilities in our life because of our laziness. The disciples also wanted to shun their responsibility of helping the Canaanite woman because of their laziness. We should never shun our responsibility of helping those who are in need and any other responsibility which is entrusted to us, and teach others also not to shun their responsibility due to laziness. He answered, I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. Jesus told them that his work of salvation was limited only to the Jews and not to the Gentiles. But in actuality, Jesus goes beyond what he was supposed to do and goes out of his way to help the Canaanite woman who was a non-Jew. The woman came and knelt before him. Lord, help me, she said. Matthew 15:25. Though the woman was a Canaanite, which means that she was a non-Jew, and therefore she was not entitled to the salvation brought by Jesus as it was believed by the Jews. It was not easy for her to come to Jesus, kneel before him and ask him to help her. But she was not afraid of the people because she had tremendous faith in Jesus. and that faith had given her the courage to come to him and ask him for help. We too need to have deep faith in Jesus so that we too may live a fearless life because we belong to Jesus, and teach others also to have deep faith in Jesus so that they too can live a fearless life. He replied, "It is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs." Matthew 15:26. There is a possibility that people may misunderstand Jesus at this point and feel that Jesus has erred in calling the non-Jews as dogs. But in actuality, Jesus is not calling the Jews as dogs, because at the time of Jesus, the Jews used to call the non-Jews or the Gentiles as dogs. So what Jesus is doing here is to merely repeat the expression dogs used for the non-Jews, to let the Jews know that it was not proper on their part to call the non-Jews with the nickname dogs. "Yes, it is, Lord," she said. "Even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." Matthew 15:27. The Canaanite woman accepts what Jesus had told her, namely, that the salvation which Jesus had brought was primarily for the Jews. But having accepted this fact, she still tells Jesus even if he had come primarily to save those who believed in him, even the Gentiles too can be granted salvation along with the Jews. We can admire the Canaanite woman because she did not get upset or angry when Jesus called her a dog. Jesus accepts the argument of the Canaanite woman and grants her request, praising her for her great faith, and heals her daughter instantly, as we can see from the passage below. Then Jesus said to her, "Woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted." And her daughter was healed at that moment. Matthew 15:24. We too need to have such great faith like that of the Canaanite woman, and inspire others to have the same faith like the faith of the Canaanite woman. My dear friends, thank you for watching my video and listening to my reflection with such care and love. I would be happy to hear your comments and suggestions. You may contact me on WhatsApp or by phone at 7030447934. I invite you to join my WhatsApp channel, Patrick Reflections, where I share my reflections, videos on biblical and psycho-spiritual themes, daily greetings, and selected inspiring content. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel, Father Dr. Patrick D'Souza, and visit my website, https://worldofemotions.in, where you can freely download my book, Treasures of Human Personhood, in ebook and audiobook formats. You can also read my reflections and watch my videos on Facebook. Kindly share this reflection and the channel details with your friends and contacts. You're most welcome to contact me for personal guidance. Catholic friends who wish to make a confession may also approach me. And now my prayer for you. May God bless you and your families with health, happiness, and holiness, and fulfill all your dreams according to His will. Amen. Thank you.